Hey guys, and welcome back to Real Topics. Today we have Crystal Bell in the house with us again.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Welcome. It's good to have you here again.
Glad to be back.
So let's get right into this discussion, guys.
Okay.
All right. Would you include your stepchildren in the will with your biological children? Now, for me, it all depends on circumstances. If I was married to someone for a year, I don't know. But had I raised those children, then yeah, absolutely. They would be my babies.
You know, for me, I would say yes from the very beginning, because when I chose to marry that person, I married their children, and I care about their children as much as I care about them, as much as I care about my own children, and I want them to have that same love and respect and concern for me and mine. So I would say absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No matter the time length or anything?
Not at all. If you can marry someone and make vows, like, you know, that's serious, and the child comes a part of it. So
Did your
100%.
relationship with the child have an effect at all? Because
No.
sometimes the step parents don't get along with the children.
You know, sometimes we don't get along with our own children.
Exactly.
It's family. So yeah.
That's true.
It
What
doesn't
about
matter.
you?
I think that when you get into any relationship and the other person, you have children, those children become your children by default, and you have to make it work. And whether you like them or not, because like she said, we don't like our own ones; they came from us. So, so you should just make it work. But then when I realized, what if you get with a man and your kids, both of you have grown kids? Do you leave your grown kids in the will? I don't know about them, because sometimes you may not know them, because his kids may live someplace else, so you only see them once in a while. I don't know, because you've already established something with your own children, and he's established his children. I don't know if I would do it, if they're like in their 20s and 30s, I'm just marrying your daddy now. I don't know, because I don't really know them.
I absolutely
But
agree.
when they're young and I'm raising them,
Yes.
even if I'm only raising them because I see them 2 weekends a month, them 2 weekends a month, I'm going to make the best out of them. So yeah, I would, but I don't know if they were
This
grown.
decision is something that should be made early on, because if the step parent dies legally, the stepchildren have no rights to an inheritance unless they're the biological children or adopted children. So if you want to leave something to your stepchildren, you need to write that down right away. Put that in your will, your last will and testament, whatnot.
What if the children aren't a part of it? Your stepchildren, like you can have a stepchild, and the stepchild lives across the country in New York with the mother.
And you never met them.
You've never, and they're not, and I can say at that point, I'm probably not. It's not I do need to reserve some for my household,
Absolutely.
but
She has a
as she has.
What if and then what if the child only comes during the summertime?
Yeah.
And the summertime is different, But then you have some children who never want to come, never want to visit. So if you don't know them, why should you give him a piece? He can give his half.
Right.
But the half that belongs to me and mine, nah.
So yeah, time and involvement definitely weigh in on that decision, and how much that stepchild relies on you for support, be it financial or raising them, being there. That definitely, comes into the decision I would make.
This. Hypothetically, you guys are married, you get a divorce, your spouse remarries within a year, and he wants to split all of his assets with his new wife and include her stepchildren.
Okay, did he cheat on me and he has a kid with her too?
Oh, so circumstance. Okay, circumstances now. It all depends.
But I'm trying to get the whole big picture of this circumstance.
It
Does he have a kid with her now?
He doesn't have a kid with her. He's just taking on her children
Okay,
as
how
his
many
own.
kids does she have?
Let's say she has 3, you have 3.
And how old are they?
Same age. as
Okay,
your children.
see, this is different. I think mine should get it and hers should get it. No, I don't think so.
You wouldn't want it
Because
divided.
because they're not my stepchildren. That's his new wife and her children and my husband, right? Is that what you're saying?
Your
Your
ex-husband.
My ex-husband. So first of all, in the divorce decree, it already says that the kids get to half the money. So that'd be we don't have to talk about it.
Well, what if he wanted to leave half of his estate to his children and his
Like
stepchildren?
I just
Would
said,
you
in
be
the divorce decree, I got my half, and my babies already got their half. So it wouldn't
wouldn't
really
matter.
It wouldn't really matter, because that would be when you have a divorce. You talk about the retirement, what's the retirement, what's going to kids. All of that is already in place. So if he's given for any new money that he's making.
The divorce decree, the dissolution, all of that, it talks about what what happened to that point. He can gain new wealth.
That's
He
what
can
I'm
get
saying.
new things.
That's what I just said. His new money.
And his decision, that's your ex-husband. I feel like what he does at that point, you don't run it. You can't make any decisions
Right.
for
That's
what he
what I'm
does
saying.
with his new wife, with his
Yeah.
stepchildren. You know, that mentality of thinking it's a no. It is an instant cutoff. He gets to
Exactly.
do what he wants, and we get to let it happen. That's
Okay,
it.
so now put
Exactly,
yourself
'cause it's
in
already
this
been
situation.
stated what's going to happen with his retirement. It's already
And-
been out there.
I don't know how I would feel in this situation. Let's say I was a stepchild, all right? I was raised in this blended family, 2 other siblings, my stepbrothers and sisters, then our parents happened to die. Now, everything was left to the biological children of that father or whatever. And I didn't get anything. How would you all feel in that situation?
It hurts.
And let's say you guys all were raised together.
Well, you have to think that in this case, the will was done way, way before the other ones came in. So if you all grew up together, then depending on your household, how it was run, you'd be willing to share it all because you're thinking, oh, this was done back in 1970 and now this is 89 and they didn't fix it. So they'd share it unless somebody wants to be greedy.
Well, you know,
know
when
what?
death happens, it never runs that smoothly.
They want to be greedy.
I have
so
to
you
say
just-
that
you just be ass out.
negligence is intent. Okay? So if somebody has something to, or they have a will and something to leave behind, and they were negligent in including their stepchild in that will, that was intent. They did that. They did it on purpose.
You really think so?
Absolutely. When you get life insurance and you're signing up and you're doing things, if you're
But
smart enough
say
to
you got that
gain all of
prior
that,
to the child coming
and
into
not
your life.
in one, you never took the time to secure them, but you made sure to gain enough for everybody else.
I don't know. That seems
Ooh,
bit
that's
harsh.
tough. You know, I asked my husband this same question, and this is probably coming from him not being in that situation, but his answer was no. He said, I just cannot share my earnings with children that are not mine. Now, I was shocked by his answer. Because for me, like I said, if I raise a child, then that's my child. That's my baby. And yeah, everyone feels differently about this subject. But let's say we were all adults here.
Okay.
Our parents got remarried, and your mother, let's say, married a rich man.
Right.
This rich man left everything to his children.
She secured that bag. I did not.
How would you feel now as an adult?
Like if that happened as an adult, that is not me. I did not work for it. I did not give my time, my body, anything. I did not pillow talk with him. That has nothing to do with me.
My body.
That is listen.
That's right.
Listen, don't
She wasn't
okay.
rolling around with him.
You know what?
That's not
You know, if
mine.
I'm with her. If it's not mine, it's not mine. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you married this rich man, he didn't need money, because that's just me being petty, and I just want his money, and I didn't have a relationship with. I'm gonna work hard. I'm gonna struggle hard for what I have and what's mine, because that's what's important.
Well,
I
does he
know-
have a brother or a son?
I have a family member who was actually in that situation. Their parent had married this rich man, and this rich man, his children did not want to do anything. They didn't want to work for anything because they knew they had this money coming to them at a certain point in their life. Well, my family, who was not secured by him, they always had to hear this. Like I have this coming at this point in time, where I'm not worried about working. They're out there busting their tail to make ends meet, make
But
sure
that's
they
what they're
have.
supposed to, because
they-
they're an adult. That's not their money to get.
They
to
are, but no,
forget.
they were teens at this time, and excuse me, I remember how awful it made my family member feel, and it caused a dissension between that family and their stepbrothers and sisters.
So did he die, and who got the money?
Well, the kids got the money.
His biological kids.
His biological kids got
They're
the money.
his. They're his.
That's how it's supposed to go. If he
It
wanted
is.
them to have it, he would have made sure that they had a piece. It's a tough life lesson, but the
is.
sooner you accept it, the sooner you can focus on securing your own fortune and going out there and doing it for
That's what I'm
yourself.
saying. Stop
That's right.
worrying about, because when people don't realize is that when you live at home with your mother's taking care of it. But then when you move out, what you used to have, that wasn't your money. It was your mother and father's money. You have to make it on your own. So don't worry about what their money is, because that's just putting you in a situation as, you're not going to want to do anything, and then you can have the
Yeah.
wrong mentality. You don't have the responsibility. So when you get the money, you'll blow it. You'll blow it on sneakers, on cars, on just doing things that are not responsible.
The lesson that I learned is secure your own future. You know, worry about
Exactly.
yourself.
Absolutely.
If you happen to get remarried, think about this and talk about this. Talk about how it will affect the children, and just try not to cause a dissension. Once you take on another family, remember you're all family at that point. So that's all we have for today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see you all next time.
See you next time.
Thank you.